this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services, CBSI Talking Business, our interview series talking to leaders in the fields of direct marketing, digital, banking, insurance, customer service, and business education. I'll highlight our team at CBSI. We're in Harrison, New York, and we provide insurance-backed benefits to the credit card and payments industry, and we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. Now today, very glad to talk with two leaders of the Media Audience and Content Marketing Association. They just ran a very successful in-person event in New Jersey last week, and so glad we got a chance to talk again to Patti Divine Inc., who is a frequent contributor to our blog. Patti, good to see you.
Hey, Ken, good to see you.
And we're really glad to meet Lisa Pistilli, who is the president of this organization, the MACMA, and also the vice president of Lester Incorporated, a company based in East Haven, Connecticut, although she is in the Philadelphia area. Lisa, good to meet you today.
Thank you, Ken. It's so nice to be here. It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Very good. Well, Lisa, maybe you'd start as the president of this trade group. Tell us a little bit about it. I know you're publishing and subscription oriented.
So MACMA, was the Media Audience and Content Marketing Association, was formed by the merger of two existing legacy associations. One was the National Trade Circulation Foundation, and the other one was the Fulfillment Managers Association. They merged in 2014 and were the original name was the Media and Content Marketing Association. Just this recently, as January, we added in audience to really embrace and remember our heritage of a lot of audience, which was at the time circulation, those members, and it's a part of our foundation. So we were proud to rebrand a little bit in January, and we continue to put out programming that serves all aspects of the industry. So audience, fulfillment, digital, B2B, B2C, C2C, B2I, all those fun letters that everybody like, wait, what? So it's very fun, and we are enjoying, we take a lot of feedback from our board and our volunteers and have come up with programming that really embraces, the entire industry. So.
Very good. And Patti Divine is a board member. She's also a sponsor of your event last week. Patti, tell us a little bit about your work with this trade group.
So I have been involved as a member, and then in the last couple of years as a volunteer and board member for FMA, and then MCMA, and now MACMA. It's that these people are like family to me. I've seen their kids grow up. We really missed our in-person events at the Princeton Club, which is sadly permanently closed. So we really, I was on the programming committee in 2020 and talk about pivoting, I created and leading the social media committee since 2021. And so it was just really important for us to, here's your surprise kitten, visit. It was really important for us to, just bring everybody together again the way we used to. And the programming committee did an amazing job and throughout, trying to figure all this out. So I'm proud to be a member, board member, sponsor, and volunteer.
Very good. Now, Lisa, the title of the event was "It's All About the Power of the Pivot." I think every industry, banking, which we're focused on, really had to make adjustments to take care of customers, and you focus on how publishers made changes, adapted during the pandemic. Tell us a little bit about what your speakers said.
So the idea for the topic of the day was about the power of the pivot of all of these publishers. It wasn't just publishers. There's publishers that also run massive events for various industries, and how basically on a dime, everything stopped. Everybody had maybe 2 or 3 weeks to figure it out, pivot, and recreate amazing digital events that were originally supposed to be in person. And it was a huge challenge across multiple industries, from the business travel industry to agriculture, you name it. Everybody had to pivot and create an amazing quote unquote digital or virtual experience. And it was so interesting to listen to the panels. So our first panel was Roberta Muller from North Star Travel Media, Alex Mancini from Business Travel News, and Dennis Hecht, who is currently at 7 Knots Digital. But at the time, he was with Farm Journal. So all three of them were major events producers for their industries. And it was just really interesting to hear how they pivoted, created content, and found platforms that supported their events and their industries and their attendees and made it work. Now, did it work to the same nth percentage that it would have worked in person? I would say probably not, but was it in an 80 to 85, 90%, as phenomenal and attended? Yes. So, that was really the topic of conversation for the first panel. The second panel was talking to major industry visionaries. Okay, is the way I would look at it. One was Chris Farrell from Endeavor Business Media. He's the CEO. There was Brian Morrissey, who was the president at Digiday and is now the president of and founder of The Rebooting. And he comes from an editorial background. And then Adam White, who is the CEO of Front Office Sports. And it was very interesting to listen to someone who has created an enormous B2B publishing company in these years, where he had a vision in 2017 and then began to build it and kept building it through the pandemic to the tune of like 81 brands. And he's not done. So it was really interesting to see and listen to what he sees and what they look at. Brian really reports on the amazing things in the industry and the things that are currently happening. And Adam's Front Office Sports is an amazing entity in itself that has created quite a buzz in the industry and has attracted significant investment dollars. So they all had a very interesting spin and why they are positive and still see the growth in this industry. Okay, and I mean truly a whole globe of publishing, media, fulfillment, data, audience, all of those things. And then the third panel was led by Barbie Nelson from CBS Global. She had Garrett Bukes from the National Review, he's the publisher, Jelaine Johnson from Hearst Memberships, and Liddell Fuqua from PWX Solutions. And their topic was how you went from a traditional two-dimensional brand and created a multi-dimensional experience, whether you're online, whether you're just digital or newsletters or TikTok or you name it. It was how did they pivot and how did they all succeed and the growth that's coming. So it was an amazing day of conversation about the community. And I think, based on, I was up there a little bit discussing, what MACMA as a whole is about and what we'd like to continue to be and, continue our journey. And it's about growth and it's about inclusiveness and it's about conversation and transparency, and everybody has a voice. Everybody that's in these industries that contributes or is part of, we want to hear you. Okay, we want you to be a member. We try to keep the price points very reasonable and for membership on all levels and sponsorship. So it's having a community place for everyone to land and to have the conversations that need to be had.
Very good. Now, it sounds like you had a fascinating discussion, and during the pandemic period, so much uncertainty, but everyone was looking at content on their laptops and on their mobile phones. It was sort of a shift to those formats. How did your publishers do with that? This idea of multidimensional brands really sounds like the way to go.
They were open to learning, and they were open to trying new things, and any place that they could grab traction in terms of interaction and engagement, I think is where they went. Some of the greatest takeaways for me were you're not failing, you're learning. That was, I think, from Jelaine. It was amazing. And so it's really about grabbing on and being open to testing, trying everything to build audience and engagement and in their case, subscriptions, or building any sort of base that will give them traction to build onto and create engagement with the brand.
And one of the things that we've talked about with a few people in the digital marketing area and traditional direct marketers is that when people are working at home, they really enjoy receiving mail. And that certainly occurred during the pandemic, as we all, in many cases, worked at home. And so print did have a kind of a favorable view. Did you see that in some cases where print was successful because so many people are working at home and looking to read something in print when they get the mail each day?
I think that print is absolutely relevant. I don't think print is dead in any way, shape, or form. There are many, many industries where subscribers prefer to receive print right now instead of straight digital, because I think that we're all so overwhelmed with this, digital everything right now, that you want something concrete. There are certain magazines that you want every year in paper, so I think while there's a lot of challenges to the industry, and we've had events and discussions about this in terms of paper, the paper shortage, the paper prices, postage, as well as ink, all of those things are impacting what the publishers can do. But there have been other marketing teams for, a varied amount of them that have seen a resurgence in direct mail. The subscription box industry is booming, and no one sees that going away anytime soon. So I think anything that's tangible that helps balance out the digital or virtual experience, in my humble opinion, I think is valuable. And as long as, you get the engagement and the attraction, you do it well, I believe that that's there to stay.
Hey, you threw a term out there. I just was going to ask about a subscription box. What do you include in that?
So anything that you subscribe to that arrives, tangibly, whether it's the clothing subscriptions, whether it's, I was gifted with one that's for a candle every month that I love, and they throw in like a little twisty, nice surprise in the box as well. I think any of those types all count. And then as the brands go more multidimensional, I think then they're getting closer and closer to quote unquote a subscription. I don't know if it's a physical box, but it could be considered something like that, I believe.
Okay, absolutely. A growing and very popular marketing channel now. Patti Divine, tell us a little bit about what were some of your observations of this conference from some of the speakers you heard.
I was there for the morning sessions. First of all, I just want to, we've always had a really great opening networking where there was just kind of no pressure. And so my arrival was just, there was breakfast laid out, there were sponsors around the room, everybody was friendly and warm. And we had a really solid amount of time for networking and for the board to get there early and welcome everybody. One of my favorite things was that we all, we organized as a group to have wristbands to indicate because of COVID, whether like green, I'm open for any kind of contact, yellow, please, keep 6 feet, or red, I'm not feeling it today. And so, that was a fun icebreaker too. And so everybody just kind of networked and had breakfast and talked to the sponsors. And then, the opening was just, really great in terms of welcoming everybody back and sort of, I felt like it was a very transparent opening and keynote. And, I did see parts of the morning sessions, and I think Lisa gave a great summary, but just overall the vibe was great. And I was able to get, we all were, Lisa, I met your friends there, she ran over and took a picture of us talking. She's like, perfect, and a potential client of mine came and enjoyed himself, I think. So yeah, it was just an amazing event, and those are my impressions.
Very good. Now, one of the achievements of the event was that you were able to provide a couple of student scholarships, and so important today for help students afford their education and point them to the future in this industry. Tell us about that.
So this is a legacy inheritance, it's a legacy, attribute of the association that we have been giving out scholarships to continuing education or higher education students for a number of years. I wish I could tell you how far back, but it goes way back. And so, especially in these last couple of years where there's been so much hardship on so many families, I felt that it was extremely important that we really do a lot of promotion of the sponsor of the scholarship program. So what happens is, as a member or as a sponsor, either way, your company or your sponsorship company and or members and their immediate families, everybody's immediate family in any of those situations, their family members are eligible to apply. And we asked a couple of questions. I don't think it's considered a horrible process to go through. And we were able to give away 3 scholarships to extremely deserving students, and we were excited about it. So it was a very big deal. And the committee that worked on it really felt strongly about the candidates. And we had a lot of candidates this year, which was awesome. And that was really what we were hoping for. And, you know, based on sponsorship levels next year and whatever, we will continue to give back to this community as much as we can. And I am personally committed to that. And so is the association. So, you know, as long as it's financially viable for us, we absolutely will continue to do this.
Absolutely. And if you would just tell us a little bit about what's coming up for the organization, the Media Audience and Content Marketing Association. Who'd like to do that? Tell us that.
I'll let Patti jump in if she wants to, but June 10th at noon Eastern, I believe, is Andrew Deaconholz from eMagazines, and the topic is non-fungible tokens, NFTs.
Oh gosh.
How you right, and how you use those with subscription marketing, and the successes that publishers are seeing. And I think because it's such a it's new, you know, not everybody understands it. And I understand some of it, but so that topic is June 10th. And I think that it's it goes to what we keep doing, is educating, networking, conversations. So we're putting this content out there at the suggestion of one of our board members. It's his partner. It's not even the board member, but it's like, and people at MACMA Day came up to me and said, we're so excited about this because our clients are using this successfully. We want to hear more. So I think that, you know, when you look at it that way, it's a super exciting topic. It's right before the summer. And I think that it carries, you know, a little bit more energy from MACMA Day, and it's an important topic, and it's extremely relevant and right on, you know, right on time. This summer, there will be Bold Mind Mixers with Joanne Persico's group. They're Wednesday nights. And then the fall, we have a subscription box in September event. I don't remember the date right now, but we'll be promoting that. And October and November are going to be data driven, and maybe some more other things. And then December will be our holiday extravaganza with maybe more. So the nice thing is that, you know, we programmed through June plus the summer and September, and then we're a little bit fluid in the fall, but we have a general sense, especially with it's a follow-up on programming and data developments in audience, in terms of how things like open rates, iOS's updates that affected open rates. It'll be a part 2 from, I think it was the February or March event. So that's where we're going, and we welcome feedback from the entire industry on relevant topics and what everybody wants to talk about or learn about. Okay,
very good. And Lisa, maybe wrap up. Tell us a little bit about your company, Lester Incorporated, based in Connecticut, and you're in Philadelphia.
Yeah, so I've been working remotely. You know how everybody just discovered this? I've been working remotely for over 20 years. My company is based in Connecticut. Right now it's in East Haven. We're a multi-channel marketing solution provider. So we have a data as a service solution, and we also offer teleservices, both domestically and international. So we have a global presence in terms of where we can call from, and we also have this data service that really has enabled clients to rely a little bit less on third-party data, and we work to build their subscriber bases for them.
Very good. And Patti, I'm going to ask you a question I was thinking of. When you say to students, what are some of the educational areas they should really learn, the technology areas they learn, and where there may be opportunities for them coming out of school to support these industries? What directions do you give students?
Oh, there's so much they need to learn. You know, my focus now is really, you know, on leading people to learn how to execute on their own marketing. So most of my classes, the students like write a marketing plan and an execution plan on that. You know, everything has to be data driven these days, whether it's in the mail or digitally. And then something I kind of discovered during the pandemic, teaching a management course at New Paltz, was that a lot of these young people coming in just haven't really had the education around leadership and management and really sort of building leaders for tomorrow, so that we can all retire comfortably. So yeah, and then you know, get some pet therapy. That's also a big recommendation. This guy is great.
Tell us a little bit about your company, Patti Divine Inc., some things that you focus on.
Sure. So Patti Divine Inc. Has been in business since 2003. So coming up on 2 decades of working at home, same as Lisa. And, you know, we started out really the first 5 years doing audience development for magazine companies. And then there was a financial crisis. And I rebooted in about 2017 after working for Today Media and Hudson Valley Magazine on digital and tourism marketing and local marketing. So today we, you know, and after our pandemic pivot, basically anybody who wants to use content marketing and data-driven marketing to drive ROI for their business. And it can be anything, you know, we really try to focus on anybody who has a transaction, either to a sales team to get into a marketing funnel and close, or something like an app that is subscription-based. And we apply all of our learning from the magazine industry and build out, you know, sort of the customer journey on, you know, pure play digital products. It doesn't have to, you know, so you know, working beyond kind of MACMA's scope, but building everything on what I've learned in the last 25 years in subscription marketing.
Okay, Patti Divine, proprietor of Patti Divine Incorporated up in Beacon, New York. Great to see you and hear what you're doing. And Lisa Pistilli, who's a vice president of Leicester Incorporated and the president of the Media, Audience, and Content Marketing Association. Great to meet you, and we look forward to staying in touch and hearing more about your events. So really, congratulations on running a successful in-person event last week. That's really an achievement, and really recognizes your work and your members' work and what you're doing. Good to see you today.
Hey, Ken, I would be a very remiss social media chair if I did not give a plug to go to our website and learn more at the-macma.org. And you can type that into your social channels and find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. And if you are a member of our LinkedIn group, please migrate over to our LinkedIn page prior to September, right, Lisa?
Okay.
So thank you. It's great. It was a pleasure being here. Thanks so much, Ken.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ken.
Oh, my pleasure, and great to talk with you both. And again, this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services and our CBSI Talking Business interview series. And I always want to recognize our team at CBSI. We're based in Harrison, New York. We provide insurance-based benefits to the credit card and payments industry and fintechs now. And we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Have a great day.